Hi and welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So we are at the start of another week, which means it's the start of another weekly reading vlog. It is Monday, I have literally just got in from work and I did a quick food shop to get some stuff for dinner after work, so I've just got in and I thought I would just start this vlog and update you on what I'm currently reading. So I am currently reading Great Expectations on audiobook. I am this far through, so I have probably about 150 pages left and I'm hoping to finish this one in this weekly reading vlog because I do have a bit of driving to do this week, hopefully enough to get me over the mark to end this book. I definitely have a lined up audiobook for after this one, so I mean I'm really excited to get to that one as well, so hopefully I can finish this one in this weekly reading vlog. I am finding this okay, up and down. I am enjoying it. I like the characters, but I am finding it very slow. It is more of like a slow and rambly book rather than like a slow as in like it's a slog. I'm actually not really finding it too difficult to get through, but I think that's because I'm reading it on audio. I think if I wasn't reading it on audio, I would be finding it quite hard to get through. But I would definitely recommend the audiobook if you did want to pick this one up. I'm definitely finding it more accessible. It's actually not as dense as I was expecting it to be. As I said, it is quite accessible and I find the language quite accessible anyway, especially because I think this one was from the 1800s. I'm not finding it too hard to read, so yeah, overall quite positive thoughts on this one, but it is also just more of a like than a love. So I'm also reading The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joanne He. This is the Owl Crate edition and I started this last night and I'm about 70 pages in and I'm really enjoying this so far. This is kind of set in the future or possible future, and it's set around two sisters. So one sister lives in, I think she lives in China, she definitely lives in Asia somewhere, I'm pretty sure, and she lives there and it's kind of this ecological city, this floating city, and because they live on this floating city, basically, so they don't produce any carbon footprint because there's the sea levels that have risen and are rising. They live basically all of their lives through a virtual experience that they can put on like a headset or go into like a pod and live their lives basically on there rather than creating a carbon footprint by doing those things in real life. So like travelling and things, obviously flying produces carbon emissions, so instead of doing that they do it all in this other space and they live quite frugal lives outside of that space. I'm really enjoying this so far. So the other sister, C, has gone missing and they can't find her even though they have these kind of geolocation things, and she has somehow become stranded on this kind of island, I think, and her friends seem to be androids that she creates. This one actually does quite a good job of really throwing you in without explaining much of the world, but also is quite accessible and doesn't feel confusing. I feel like this one is a very easy one to pick up, an easy one to get through, even though this world is so different to our own. The concepts are all quite easy to understand and they are explained quite well without taking up too much of the story, which I really like, and I'm really looking forward to reading more of this tonight. And when I have finished that one, I do want to pick up Afterlove by Tanya Byrne, which I will probably hopefully be reading later in this reading vlog. And all I know is this one is about two girls. I think one of them dies or is going to die and the other one wants to get to them in the afterlife, and I think there is something about them being a reaper. I'm not entirely sure. We will see when we get to this one. I won't go into it too much now, but I'm very excited to read this one as well. I gave my Instagram followers a choice between the two of these and they chose The Ones We're Meant to Find by 55% to 45%, so it was very close, but I was a little bit more excited to read this one, so I'm happy they chose this one and I'm enjoying it so far, and I will continue reading that tonight. I think I might have a bath because I just got in from work, so I think I might have a bath and then probably edit a bit of my vlog for last week, and I'm gonna have some dinner before that, as obviously I'm hungry after work, and then yeah, I'm gonna do some reading in the bath hopefully. So I will update you probably tomorrow or the day after, because again I have work tomorrow, but hopefully I will get some reading in so I can update you between my shifts and stuff, and then I have 3 days off at the end of the week with some exciting things planned, so I will update you soon. So it's Tuesday, I've literally just got back from work, and I think I might go for a walk. I would like to go for a run, but I don't actually have my running stuff with me, because I'm still at Mark's. But it's such a lovely evening, it's really nice weather, it's been really nice weather today, but it's also kind of cooling down because it's the evening, and Mark isn't back yet. So I think I might go for a walk, maybe get some stuff for dinner, and yeah. Just have a bit of time in nature to end my day after 2 days at work. 4 days at work. 4 days at work over 2 different jobs. So other than the fact I haven't brought any water with me, this was such a good idea. I literally haven't seen a soul. I'm just walking through the fields with this amazing view of the city, and yeah, it's really warm as well, which I didn't know because I've been inside all day working. It's just such a beautiful evening and I have this amazing view. So glad I did this. Wednesday evening. I do not feel good. I saw Alex today and it was so lovely, and we went out for lunch and I had quite a big lunch, and then I came home and went for a run for an hour, and it was the most grueling run I've ever done, and I almost stopped 3 times, but I managed to push through it. But I felt really sick and I probably should have stopped, but you know, I didn't, and I still feel really sick. But I have some plain noodles that are just cooling here for me to eat in a sec to try and eat something, but yeah, I don't feel good. But anyway, aside from that, let's talk about my books. So on that run, I actually finished Great Expectations. This morning, I think I had like a quarter of this book to go or something. There was like over 5 hours to go, but I've been driving so much today because I listen on 1.5 speed. I actually finished this one. Now, this was sadder than I expected. I really liked the characters, and what happened to Pip just made me sad. Seeing his life just made me sad. But yeah, I really liked the characters. I did find this one quite slow, and I definitely dropped off a bit today. Probably just because of my own fault of not distractions, but not taking in so much, not focusing so much. I haven't read it for a few days or listened to it. So I think I just kind of dropped off towards the end and definitely wasn't taking as much in as I needed to, which I often find with classics, and I definitely think a lot of the classics I've read could do with a reread and would be better with a reread, including this one at some point in my future. But I did enjoy this. I think I'm probably going to give it 4 stars. I did really like the characters. I found it quite accessible because I expected to find it quite dense. Amy told me this came out, well, was written in 1860, and I think it was released as a periodical for magazine over a course of about 2 years or 1.5 years. Me and Mark were looking this up the other day. But yeah, I found this very interesting to read, more accessible than I expected it to be, less dense than I expected it to be. A Christmas Carol is definitely still my favourite Dickens book, but we will see as time goes on if I read it any more and if I enjoy those more. But yeah, thank you to Amy for this recommendation. I did end up enjoying it, and I'm glad I've managed to get, I think, what was the chunkiest book off my Wordsworth collection, TBR. It's kind of a close match to Jane Eyre, but I've already read Jane Eyre. So this was definitely the chunkiest one, I think, on my TBR. So I've got this one off the TBR now. I'm also about halfway through The Ones We're Meant to Find. There you go, there's my bookmark somewhere in there. And I'm really enjoying this so far. I read another 50-ish pages of this last night. I have not been managing to read as much as I want to of this because I've been working and doing other things, but I'm hoping to read more of this tonight. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. I do find that I'm connecting a lot more, and I keep meaning to mention this to you guys, I'm connecting a lot more to C than I am to, is it Kayla? Casey, oops. Than I am to Casey, because C's chapters are in first person, whereas Casey's are in third person, and I couldn't really figure out what was the distinction between them that was making me feel differently, but I think it's definitely the third person and first person. I just prefer the first person and definitely feel closer to the character when it's written that way, so I'm definitely enjoying C's chapters more because of that. But I am still finding this really interesting. Overall, this is such an interesting thing to think about because of the ecological stuff that is in here and how it could very easily, some of the stuff could very easily happen to us in real life if we don't change the way that we're living. And I do like that this is kind of a different perspective on the future. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it, finding it really interesting. I don't think it's a 5-star for me, which is a shame because I really wanted this to be a new favourite, but we will see where it goes. I also have some book mail here, which I think this is something for me. I have birthdays coming up, you know who you are, and I've had a lot of mail because of that, but I think this one is actually something for me. I hope, because I want to show it to you. I'm fairly sure this is for me. Oh, it's all wrapped in bubble wrap and everything. That is so sweet of the seller. So I got Wicked Fox by Cat Cho, the Fairy Loot edition. I had saved searches on eBay for this. I have actually read this and I owned a proof copy of it a couple years ago, and I read it and I gave it 4 stars. I did enjoy it, but I wasn't planning on continuing with the series, and I gave it to Courtney because I thought she would enjoy it more, and she did. And now the cover for Vicious Spirits, the second one, it's now out, the book's out, and I've seen people with that cover, and I'm sorry, I'm not usually one to buy stuff because of the cover, but that book is beautiful. Like, the cover is probably more beautiful, it's probably one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen, and I really want it, and I'd like the hardback. So I thought I'd try and get a hardback of the Fairy Loot version because these don't go for too much of the first one, so I can have a matching set, because this is one that I would like to reread anyway, and it's always been in the back of my mind as one I'd like to reread and possibly continue with. And seeing Books Nest read this one recently, I'm really loving it, and she's done the same thing as me. She found a Fairy Loot edition secondhand, and I think somebody's bought her the hardback of the second one. I'm so glad I managed to get this. I'm going to get the hardback of Vicious Spirits, and they're going to look so beautiful, and I'll probably reread this one at some point and carry on with the series. Okay, so I'm going to head off because yeah, I don't feel good, but hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow and can give you a bit more of an update and stuff. I am actually just at home tomorrow and have another day off, so that'll be nice, and I don't really have any plans, so hopefully I can actually just get some reading done and read The Ones We're Meant to Find, and hopefully get a big chunk of that done tomorrow. So I will see you then. Hi, it's Thursday. I have been up since around 7:30 this morning, but it was actually a beautiful morning. As I said in my last weekly reading vlog, I think, or maybe earlier this week, last week I think, I have been waking up earlier since I started my new job, and I'm not mad about it as long as I don't feel super tired, which I don't. So I woke up at 7:30, it was a beautiful morning, I watered my plants, did some washing up, and I have been reading. I also had a bath, and I finished The Ones We're Meant to Find. So I I've read around 160 pages of this today to finish it already. I was just lying in bed this morning reading, had a bath and read some more, and I finished this book. I really enjoyed it. It was a 4-star, not a 5-star, so a kind of slight disappointment because I honestly, what I'd heard about this book, thought that it was going to be a new favourite, and it isn't quite up there, but I do feel like if I did reread this, it might get a little bit higher rating, maybe 4.5. I think this was partly because of the third person point of view that Casey's chapters are from. C's chapters were probably a 5-star. I absolutely loved her, I loved her story, I loved the amazing themes that she explores within this book. Honestly, the whole book has such interesting and amazing themes throughout. But C's chapters I just absolutely loved because of the first person point of view, whereas Casey's chapters were in third person, and every time I started Casey's chapters I felt really jarred. And I couldn't really put my finger on why, and then I realised probably around halfway through the book that they were in third person. I was like, oh, that's why I feel so disconnected from them, because it's not actually from her point of view. And whenever the author is talking about her and the other people, they're using, you know, they and not actually I, and I'm like, that's why I feel so much more related to C's chapters, because I feel like I'm actually in her head, and I loved her chapters. This book, as I said, does really look at some really interesting themes. I love that it looks at climate change. The only thing I can think of that is similar to this is Weathering With You by Makoto Shinkai, which is primarily a film and then has manga, which I've talked about recently, and a light novel, and that is a similar kind of disaster climate change theme, looking at the extremes of what our world could come to, and that is the only thing I can think of that's anywhere close to this book. This just felt so unique, which I absolutely loved about it. I just loved how much it explored these different themes that we really don't see in fiction that much. I was going to say young adult, but I'm not sure if this is actually young adult. I think it is, because the main characters are like 16, 17. Yeah, pretty sure this is YA science fiction. But yeah, I just absolutely love this. And actually Lauren James has blurbed the back, who also does write climate change YA fiction, and she is another one that is probably one of the closest authors I can think to this book, especially The Quiet at the End of the World by her is kind of a similar disaster theme to this one. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling about this book. I did really enjoy it. Slight disappointment because of the disconnect, but I really liked how the author threw us in and didn't patronise us at the start, but I still did understand a lot of what happened in this one fairly well. And yeah, I really liked the themes, I liked the characters, I just did feel a bit disconnected, and the ending felt a little bit ambiguous and a bit murky for me, but other than that I definitely really enjoyed it. So on to my next read, or reads. I am absolutely going to throw caution to the wind right now. I have 3 books left on my August TBR, and it's only the 12th, and I feel like I'm doing quite well. That does mean I've only read 2 on my TBR, but I have also read Great Expectations. So I think I might actually start a different book. I do have reason enough to do this. I also read The Scorched Trials. But anyway, so I do need to start another audiobook, and I was going to start The House in the Cerulean Sea. However, me and Alex are going to buddy read it next week, so I think I'm going to save the audiobook for Monday, and I'm thinking of what I've got on between now and Monday and how much I could cram in if I did try and pick up another audiobook, and I think I could read Treasure Island between now and Monday. I think with the amount of driving I have, possibly a walk today because it's such a nice day, and a run tomorrow, I think I could get this one read by Monday, and I might try and do that, because the audiobook for this one is only around 7 hours long, and it is also one of the remaining ones on my Wordsworth collection TBR. After this one I will only have The Little Prince and the Austen books, I think. So yeah, from what I can tell, after this one I will only have The Little Prince and Austen books. I have read Persuasion, but I have all of the other 5 in the set to read, but I'm kind of saving those for autumn because I feel like they're going to be perfect for the rest of the year. So I think I might try and bash this one out on audio and read it over the weekend, and we will see how I find Treasure Island. I know nothing about this other than I presume it has themes of pirates and boats and an island. that maybe has some treasure on it. Literally don't really know anything about this. Don't think I read any kind of version as a child, but you know, I didn't really think I had read any Wind of the Willows, but I felt quite nostalgic about that one, so we will see. Yeah, I'm going to pick this one up, so you'll see my thoughts on that. I'm also going to pick up Amari and the Night Brothers. So this is one that I've wanted to read for a while, and I've had on my TBR. I've had this physical, beautiful version that has silver edges since around April time, and I have wanted to read it for a long time, but thank you so much to the publishers for sending me this one. But it's also our Children's Book of the Month at Waterstones where I work, so I think I want to read this one in August so I can promote this one to people, and having actually read it and have my own opinion of it. I have a feeling that I'm going to really, really love this, and my colleague Jo has read it and absolutely loved it as well, so I really, really want to read this very soon, and because it's a middle grade, I don't think it's going to take me too long to get through. So I think what I'm going to do is pick up this one, hope it doesn't take me too long, and then I just have my other 3 books on my August TBR to get to. And there is a couple of other things I have in mind that I want to read, including carrying on with The Maze Runner and, as I said, The House in the Cerulean Sea. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I feel like I've been talking for ages and I'm sorry, but I might go for a walk, as I said, and start Treasure Island, and then I'm gonna definitely start Amari today, which I'm very, very excited for. It's definitely one of my more anticipated releases of the year, and I'm very excited to pick it up, so I will update you with my thoughts on these. It's Friday, I've had the whole day off, and I'm only just updating you now at 9 PM. Doing great today. I had quite a productive morning, woke up early again, went for a run, edited 2 videos, and that was about it. And then I've kind of spent the whole afternoon just feeling like I'm procrastinating. Did book a couple of, well, I booked a hotel for something I have on in September, which was productive, and started thinking about plans that I have in the next few months, and I saw Courtney, which was really nice, but I feel like I haven't done much this afternoon. I did take some reels on TikTok, so that was good. But anyway, the only thing I've read today is Treasure Island when I went on my run this morning. I'm now part of the way through this. I'm just over 100 pages through this, and I'm quite enjoying this so far. I really enjoyed the section that I read today in comparison to yesterday. For some reason, even though I was just walking and listening to it yesterday, I wasn't really taking in the story as much as I needed to be, which was a bit strange. But today, running, I think because I had, like yesterday when I was walking, I was kind of checking my phone and stuff, whereas obviously when I'm running I can't do that, same as when I'm driving, so I just fully focus on the audiobook. Obviously when I'm driving I focus on driving as well, but when I'm running I definitely feel like I get the most out of audiobooks because I completely focus on them, and I really like this so far. I feel like it's a great adventure story, and I just think it's one of the most enjoyable fantasies classics I have read so far, in the terms of it being a proper kids adventure story, pirate story. It just feels so perfect for what it is, which I really, really like, and it's definitely reminiscent of things that I read as a child, and also one of my favourite Wordsworth editions, mainly because of the back of it, which says yo ho ho and a bottle of rum, and look at this little crab and his little smiley face. I love it. I love this edition. I think it's adorable. It's definitely one of my favourite backs with this like compass and the little starfish and crab and stuff. Anyway, I also started Amari and the Night Brothers. Look how pretty this edition is. It's foiled with these little stars. The edges are like silver, which do look shiny in certain. It does look shiny, it's like metallic in certain lights, but it's hard to see it on camera, but it's so pretty. This was a copy that the publisher sent to me, so thank you very much to, I think Egmont Books published this one. Thank you very much to them. I'm finally reading this, and I read about 60 60. I read 30 pages of this last night. I didn't read much of this last night, but I am really enjoying what I'm reading so far. It's very reminiscent of kids' fantasy, which I absolutely love. Full of magic, there's already been some discussions of race in here, which I really like, considering Amari is probably only about 11 or 12, and she's the main character, and she's a black girl, and I love that she's a black girl, and we are finally seeing middle grade fantasy with more diverse characters in them, especially as this tackles race right from the off. Especially for kids, it tackles race in a really accessible way and in a day-to-day conversational style, which I really, really like. So far, just 30 pages in, really enjoying this one. I have some plans for next week and later, or Sunday and into next week, which I'm very excited for, and I actually think I might do 2 separate vlogs next week, because I have quite a big week now with my last minute plans, which will probably show up in the next vlog you see rather than the end of this one. I'll probably end this one on Sunday morning and start my next vlog on Sunday night, but I have some very exciting plans. I'm trying to decide what books I want to include in those plans. So we will see, but I hope you do enjoy the next couple of vlogs. I'm hoping they're going to be really fun ones. I'm very excited for them. Anyway, I'm gonna go and hopefully read more of Amari tonight and get through some more of this. More than 30 pages would be good. And then I will carry on reading Treasure Island tomorrow. I'm fairly confident that I will finish this one over the weekend, so yeah, exciting. Hi, it's Saturday after work, and I thought I would just update you on what I'm reading. I've been in the bookshop today, and it's been a really nice kind of quiet Saturday for a change, which has been really nice. And I sold Heartstopper in my Heartstopper t-shirt, which is always a bonus. So I am still reading Treasure Island. I actually kind of made a mistake and listened to some music on my way to work this morning, because I just got some new CDs. Yes, CDs. So I didn't listen to this, and now I'm a bit behind, but I am almost halfway through this. I've got to admit, I did kind of switch off on the way home when I was listening to this, because I was just thinking about other things and something exciting that's happening in a couple of days and what I will be vlogging about. And I just started thinking about that instead, and kind of switched off from listening to this instead. So I definitely need to focus a little bit more, but I'm getting the gist of it, and I didn't realise this edition is illustrated and has drawings in it. Maybe I should be reading this edition instead. I have a feeling I might end up reading some of this as a physical copy if I want to finish it tomorrow, rather than reading the end of it as an audiobook. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to read as the audiobook tomorrow, because I've just got to go to and from work now. So I might finish this off as a physical copy tomorrow and appreciate some of those drawings. I'm also still reading Amari and the Night Brothers, and I'm about 120 pages into this now, nearly. And I'm definitely getting into this and finding it more fast-paced now. Yeah, really loving this at the moment. It has such a lovely, magical fantasy feeling that I think will be perfect for kind of 11, 12-year-olds. I think this is just going to be so perfect for them, because it's so imaginative and it's full of magic and supernatural stuff, and like this Bureau of Supernatural Affairs, which I really like. I actually sold one of these to somebody at work this morning who was kind of eyeing it up, and I said that I was currently reading it and really liked it. And I just love that this has a black female main character, because I think that is something that is just something we need to see more of in middle grade, and the fact that more people will be able to see themselves in this book is amazing, and I really like that, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this one's going. I want to read a big chunk of that one tonight, so we'll see how that goes. I also got a book from work today, which I didn't buy. I actually got sent this from the publisher, although it is a finished copy, and this is from Hotkey, so thank you Hotkey, and this is Redemptor, which is the second, it's just completely slipped my mind what this one is the second book to. So this is the sequel to Raybearer by Jordan Ifleko, who I've heard amazing things about their writing and about Raybearer, and I absolutely love this cover so much. The colours and the foiling is just absolutely beautiful. My friend Jo at work also got sent a copy of this one, so I bought the first one for her so she could read it, and I'm now gonna buy the first one for myself so I can read this one soon as well. Can you see the person's face in this cover? Isn't that such a cool detail that people just don't notice? I can really see it, that's so cool. Sorry, I'm very excitable tonight. But yeah, I don't know much about this, but I definitely do want to read. And Raybearer has been shortlisted for the Waterstones Children's Book Prize, which kind of sparked one, but yeah, it was shortlisted for that. I'm very excited to have this one, so thank you Hotkey. And Hotkey does this little thing on the back, which I really like, which tells you what it includes, and it says Empires, Underworld, Sacrifice and Justice, which sounds amazing. And the cover design and illustration was by Michaela Alcano. I absolutely love this cover, so shout out to the illustrator because it is beautiful. I love the cover, the colours so much in that one. Anyway, I'm gonna go and have a bath, I think, and read, and probably calm myself and read some more of Amari and the Night Brothers, and hopefully get a big chunk of this read tonight. These shimmery pages are just so beautiful. I wish they picked up better on camera because they are really, really lovely. Yeah, I'm gonna head off. And welcome to the end of the vlog. It is Sunday evening after work. It's about 5:30 and I have a very exciting thing happening tomorrow, and I'm starting a new vlog, so that is very exciting. And I finished Amari and the Night Brothers, which is so cool. I wanted to kind of finish this one before I wrapped up this vlog so I could tell you some thoughts about it, and I also want to have nothing that I need to read tomorrow so I can start new books in the new vlog. This is just so pretty. I think I finally managed to catch the sprayed edges on camera this morning in the sun because it is absolutely stunning. I really enjoyed this. I really liked it. I loved how magical it felt. I loved the plot. It was just so fast paced, especially towards the end. There was always something going on. I felt like a lot happened in this book. It is nearly 400 pages, so it's not the shortest book in the world, but it also doesn't feel that long. I think that is quite long for a middle grade, but I also don't think it's going to put younger readers off, because it is just so easy to read, and I really liked Amari as a main character. She is a strong black woman, black girl, but I really liked following her as a main character. I think this is definitely something we need to see more of in middle grade. I also love the plot twists in this. I could never quite guess what was going to happen next, and it kept me on my toes. And yeah, I've just been reading this one constantly and not really put it down in the past 24 hours, and whenever I could on my break today and stuff, I read it and I finished it. So very excited about this. I think it's going to be a 4-star one. So not quite a 5-star, but also did really enjoy it and would highly recommend it for anyone who's looking for a middle grade fantasy full of magic. So I'm also 260 pages through Treasure Island, so I'm near the end of this, and I'm hoping to finish this one tonight, although I will be wrapping up the vlog here, so I will finish it after the vlog. But I will be finishing this one probably reading the physical format because I don't have any other reason today to listen to the audiobook, but I only have about 80 pages of this, and I think it's going to be quite easy to read the physical version of, so hopefully I'll finish this one in a bit, and it won't take me too long to get through. But yeah, I've been enjoying this quite a lot. I feel like it's a classic adventure story, classic pirate story. Can't believe this is one I haven't read. Made me think of Nim's Island because I absolutely loved the film Nim's Island as a kid, and obviously this one is set on an island as well. And yeah, it just reminded me of Nim's Island and the same kind of vibes that it had, and wonder if that was inspired by this book in any way. But yeah, really enjoying this one. I definitely feel like there was a chunk in the middle when I was listening to it yesterday that I just kind of glazed over while I was listening to it, so I do feel like I kind of missed something there, but I'm definitely back into the story and feeling like I am taking things in again, and I think reading the physical format is going to help with that. And then that will be another book from my Wordsworth collection done, and then I think I might have only 7 or 8 left, probably 7 if I'm remembering correctly. I did also pick up a book today, and that is The Quick by Laurent Owen. So me and a couple of friends are going to buddy read this one in September, which I'm very excited for. So Amy picked the September book and she picked this one because she's had it on her TBR for a while. So we have all bought our copies and I'm excited to read this. So I don't know too much about this one, but I think it follows, it's in Victorian Yorkshire, and it follows a brother and sister who are there, and they're on a remote country estate, and it also follows a mysterious club in London with a society of some of the richest, most powerful men in England, and at some point those two worlds collide, and it is then and only then that a new world emerges, one of romance, adventure, and the most delicious of horrors, and the secrets of the Quick are revealed. So I'm very excited to read this one. Glad that it's going to be our first buddy read, and we've managed to all get hold of our copies now, I think. So yeah, I'm excited to start this one and see what we think, and it's intriguing to see that pride sticker on it on the Waterstones website and see how that one comes in as well. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. I've finished Omari, going to finish Treasure Island, so I feel like I can have a fresh start with my vlog tomorrow. If you do want to join me for that one, then please stay around and it will be posted probably later in the week or next week. So if you do want to join me for that very exciting vlog that I'm starting tomorrow, then please subscribe to the channel, and if you did enjoy this vlog then please give it a thumbs up and comment down below as well, which really helps. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!